Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am the world's most successful USFL YouTuber, Brandon Perna. And today I wanted to break down the quarterbacks of the USFL. Shout out former first round NFL draft pick Paxton Lynch, who went in the 12th round of the USFL draft and is now officially a Michigan Panther. 16 QBs were selected in the USFL draft last week. Basically 2 for each team, and there are some names you will recognize, and some you'll be like, who the fuck is that guy? We're gonna power rank these QB tandems based on what little info I have. That's good sports. Please, if you want more USFL videos, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thumbs up the episode to let me know you like it. Comment. And today's episode is sponsored by Manscaped. 4 million men rely on Manscaped to take care of the most important part of their body. No, not their brain, not their heart. Certainly not their appendix. Who cares about an organ nobody even needs? Manscaped is trusted with the pelvic region. And you already know that with the Lawnmower 4.0, the world's finest, safest, and most waterproofest pube mower, your man Jules will have the most well-manicured yard on the block. Manscaped is not done maximizing the potential of your body. I'm excited to introduce the Manscaped Ultra Premium Collection, which includes the Manscaped 2-in-1 shampoo plus conditioner, which has done wonders for my beard, by the way, the Manscaped body wash with refined cologne scent, the new hydrating body spray, the new aluminum-free stick deodorant, plus this free gift, the new moisturizing lip balm in a handy 3-pack. So, from your hips, to your lips, to your frosted tips, Manscaped has an answer for your grooming, washing, hydrating, and conditioning needs. Although I hope you still don't have frosted tips. It's not 2001 anymore. So, use my link below, manscaped.com/goodsports for 20% off plus free international shipping. Today, I want to give you some info about each USFL QB, and then power rank the tandem of quarterbacks for each team. We're gonna start at 8. The New Jersey Generals, the least powerful tandem with quarterbacks Ben Holmes and DeAndre Johnson. The Generals were once Doug Flutie's team. That's fitting because the first QB they drafted, Ben Holmes, is only 5'10". Holmes is a graduate of Tarleton State, which, to be honest, I've never heard of until now. It's a D2 school, and Holmes did throw 34 TDs and just 3 picks there. As you might imagine, because of his size, Holmes has good mobility and isn't afraid to fight for extra yards. He is Doug Flutie 2.0. He was taken 4th by the Generals, which is kind of weird since he has no NFL experience, just indoor league football experience with the Rattlers and Sea Lions, played D2, and again is undersized. He is an underdog in a league of underdogs, which is why I like him. As for DeAndre Johnson, he is not the son of former Texans wide receiver Andre Johnson, but he did appear on the Netflix series Last Chance U after being kicked out of Florida State for punching a woman in a bar. Now, Johnson has shown remorse since that incident, so I think it's fair to see him get another chance, but also why he brings the Generals down to 8. Then we've got the Houston Gamblers quarterbacks Clayton, Thorson, and Kenji Bahar, ranked at power of 7. Once upon a time, Clayton Thorson was the successor to Trevor Siemian at Northwestern, and he played well enough in college to become a 5th-round pick of the Eagles back in 2019. Since then, he's bounced around on practice squads before getting this chance with the Gamblers. Gamblers is a good fit for the son of Thor, as he likes to gamble with the ball, throwing 12 and 15 picks in his final 2 seasons at Northwestern. He did what you never want to see a quarterback do: throw more picks in each of his full seasons while dropping in air yards per attempt each of those seasons. He got worse. Now, Kenji Bahar comes from Monmouth University, where he was the Big South Offensive Player of the Year in 2019 and set school passing records with 3,684 yards and 30 TDs that year and holds the school record for longest touchdown pass at 92 yards. Now, Bahar spent some time with the Baltimore Ravens, where he attempted 0 passes in 0 games. Both quarterbacks got some looks by NFL teams, which is enough in my eyes to place them ahead of the lowly Generals. You suck, Generals! Then we've got the Birmingham Stallions QBs Alex McGough and Jamar Smith, ranked here at 6. Now, I got my first taste of Alex McGough, not literally, when he played for the Seahawks against the Broncos in the 2021 preseason. McGough is a former 7th rounder out of Florida International. McGough looks like a future contestant on The Bachelor, and by no means do I think he'll run away with the job here. When you play in a conference like Conference USA, I expect at least one big passing season. McGough never broke 3,000 passing yards and only had more than 20 touchdowns one time. As for his competition, Jamar Davis Smith, he played at Louisiana Tech and spent some time in the Canadian Football League with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, which in my opinion is a redundant name for a team. Smith is from the South, growing up in Mississippi, so I think he'll be comfortable in Birmingham. Now, Jamar gets mistaken for a dual-threat quarterback, a 2.6 yard per carry average in college on 326 rushing attempts. I don't think he is. Holmes, 5 yards per attempt. Josh Allen, 5.5 yards per attempt. Those are dual-threat rushing stats. Now, the Patriots did give him a look back in 2020, but he lost the practice squad job to Bryan Lewerke. Is this tandem better than the Gamblers? But I don't know. But 6 feels right for them. And we got the Philadelphia Stars quarterbacks, Brian Scott and Cookus, power to the 5th. Brian Scott beat out Zach Mettenberger for a starting job with the Generals of the Spring League, leading them to a 4-0 record and a championship in 2020. He was the 2-time MVP of the Spring League, so he's basically the Aaron Rodgers of developmental football. In terms of quarterbacks with 2 first names, he joins other greats like Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, Russell Wilson, Josh Allen, and of course, Ben Roethlisberger. Case Cookus may not have any MVPs, but he is a former Northern Arizona University Lumberjack, a former New York Giant, Denver Bronco, Raider, and Viking. All for very short periods of time, but still. As a freshman at NAU, Cookus put up 37 touchdowns and just 5 picks, winning the Jerry Rice Award, which recognizes the best freshmen in the FCS. He's mostly a pocket passer with a live arm, and I think he'll challenge for that starting spot. Case Cookus is a cult hero amongst internet sports shit posters, and that, more than spending time on NFL practice squads, will help him lead the Stars to the postseason. Let Case Cookus, damn it. Then we've got the Pittsburgh Maulers QBs, Kyle Lauletta and Josh Love with the power of 4. Kyle Lauletta was a 4th-round pick of the Giants back in 2018 after lighting up the Colonial Athletic Association as a member of the Richmond Spiders. Unfortunately, Lauletta only attempted 5 passes in the NFL, completing exactly 0. But he owns the record for most terrified look on a quarterback's face while making a throw. He bounced around NFL practice squads, joining the Eagles, Falcons, Browns, and Jaguars this last season before leaving Duval for a better team in the Pittsburgh Maulers. Now, Josh Love is a former 1st-round pick out of Utah State and is best known for being the main reason Aaron Rodgers is pissed off at the Green Bay Packers. I don't know what Love is doing in the USFL. I feel like he was just in Green Bay, but of course, you know what they say about the NFL. It stands for not for long, bitch. Oops, sorry, that's Jordan Love, not Josh Love. Josh Love threw for 3,900 passing yards, 22 TDs, and 8 picks at San Jose State as a senior in 2019 and became the first San Jose Spartan to be named Conference Player of the Year since they joined the All-Mountain West. Honestly, I think there might be a little bit more upside with Josh Love, but all around, I think the Maulers got a solid tandem. Then we've got the Tampa Bay Bandits quarterbacks Jordan Ta'amu and Brady White at spot 3. Brady White, also the box Tom Brady checks on any sort of form asking about his ethnicity. Jordan Ta'amu, of course, was the queen of the XFL, and Brady White had the most prolific college season in this group. Now, aside from PJ Walker, former Ole Miss QB Jordan Ta'amu was probably the best quarterback in the ill-fated XFL 2 years ago. His strong showing with the St. Louis Battlehawks earned him a few different stints with the NFL, primarily as a member of the Kansas City Chiefs. A very similar career arc as Shea Patterson, just a lot better. In just 5 games, Ta'amu completed 72.4% of his passes, threw 5 TDs, 2 picks, and had just over 1,000 passing yards in the XFL. But Jordan was also putting up 43.4 rush yards per game, which is what made him fun to watch and effective as a QB. Just like Paxton Lynch, Brady White was also a quarterback for the University of Memphis. Brady is the only 4,000-yard passer on this list, and his best season had 5 more touchdowns with 33 than Paxton Lynch did at Memphis. But he did have nearly double the picks at 11. Also, is pirate facial hair a requirement to play quarterback at Memphis? Is it? White spent a little bit of time in the spring league before getting drafted by the Bandits. White's got the ability to extend plays and a good arm, but I don't think he's going to challenge Ta'amu for a starting spot. By extend plays, I mean scramble, not rush for first downs, as he finished his 2019 season with negative 71 rushing yards, which surprisingly was only the 7th worst in the NCAA. I'm excited to see Ta'amu get another shot, but will miss the insane support Battlehawks fans showed every week in the XFL. Then we've got New Orleans Breakers QBs Kyle Sloter and Zach Smith at power ranking of 2. And even though they've got the overall power of 2, I think the best QB in the USFL is Kyle Sloter, the Slaughterhouse. Sloter will always be a folk hero in Broncos country for his tremendous showing in the 2017 preseason. Despite playing better than the other 2 QBs, the Broncos cut Sloter, who eventually spent a couple full years with the Vikings, who gave him one of the big practice squad contracts to prevent the Broncos from bringing him back to their squad. Minnesota also signed him as an emergency QB last season when Cousins was out with the COVID. Sloter is 6'5" and once registering a throw speed of 58 miles per hour, which is really fucking fast, and 2 miles per hour short of the NFL Combine record, which was set by now tight end Logan Thomas, which was tied by Patrick Mahomes and Brian Bennett. Sloter has the goods, and unfortunately for former Tulsa quarterback Zach Smith, I think Sloter takes the starting job and becomes the best New Orleans quarterback since Drew freaking Brees. Just a quick note on Zach Smith. He is not the same Zach Smith who used to coach at Ohio State and got sentenced to a half year in prison. Although spending 2 years in Tulsa is like being in prison for 2 years. His best season was his junior year, 3,279 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, and 9 picks. Again, a great Sloter backup. The Breakers are only at 2 because I think the next tandem is just a bit better. Michigan Panthers quarterback Shea Patterson and Paxton Lynch, the most powerful duo. Starting at first overall with Shea Patterson. Patterson is a bit of a pariah in Michigan, where the general consensus is that he held back a talented roster. Sort of like me on Clickbait Sports every Thursday. Now, Patterson threw for 3,061 yards in 2019 during his senior season at Michigan, which was 33rd best in the NCAA, trailing guys like Kenny Pickett, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, who led all of college ball with an insane 5,600 passing yards, and even fellow USFLer Brady White. Now, Patterson was 9-4 in his final season with 23 TDs to 8 picks, with 2 losses to end the season against Ohio State and Alabama. To put it simply, he wasn't an efficient passer and struggled mightily against tough competition, which is why he spent just 3 months in Kansas City after going undrafted in 2020 and later signed with the Montreal Alouettes in the Canadian League, where he did not record any passing stats. And even if he did, they'd be in meters or whatever, and I'd have no idea what they meant. The worst thing about Shea Patterson is that he wore number 20 for 2 seasons at Ole Miss. You can't be a quarterback and wear number 20. Fuck you, Shea. Then, of course, we've got Paxton Lynch, who a lot of you are intimately familiar with. Lynch was a first-round pick by the Broncos in 2016. Yes, first round in the NFL. And after a short career that mostly involved crying and sending his coach to the hospital, Lynch spent time on the Steelers and Seahawks practice squads, then signed with the Canadian Football League, but was released by the Rough Riders per his request just a couple weeks ago. I'm presuming this means Lynch is all in on the USFL, which is why I am hoping for a career resurrection. Lynch has all the tools in the world, including mobility and a super strong arm, but was criticized for his poor work ethic and his tendency to choose Madden over real-life football. Paxton Lynch is the only quarterback drafted who started a game in the NFL, which is why Michigan gets the power rank of 1. They took their top QB in Patterson and the guy with the biggest upside in Lynch. I do predict that Lynch wins the starting job in Michigan, assuming he stops using all of his tools like Tim Taylor and takes the refined Al Borland approach. Boom, and those are your USFL quarterbacks. We're gonna look at some of the top USFL players and try to get a video for you next week, so come back for that. You can click the video on the screen if you wanna watch more of my crap. And it is certainly crap, but you keep coming back, don't you? What does that say about you?